Hey, good morning. This is Moses Correa. I'm gonna put some light on in here. Coming to you with the coach's desk from the car. If I get this light on, that'd be great. Um, Been thinking a little bit, and these definitely are these posts. These videos are just kind of the ramblings of me analyzing what I hear and things that I think are kind of going on in this industry of fitness and strength and conditioning. Um, I am not always right, obviously. I'm constantly reading, researching, and undergoing change and metamorphosis to make these better. But one of the things that I want to speak about today in this vlog is about metabolism. Right? It's something that's misconstrued a lot. There's a lot of weird stuff about it, just like anything else. That maybe once been factual in some way, and then it got exaggerated, or it never was factual, and it just became sort of gym myth. And there are a lot of those. And you'd be surprised how many people believe them. And you may be training with somebody, if you do, or know somebody who believe these false information that hasn't been debunked yet. Unfortunately, the real information hasn't gotten into those circles for the most part, and the result is frustration sometimes, loss of money on the part of the person that's training with that person because the ideas don't really work, or if they do, they work minimally, and any other issues that may happen. So, but this fact is, discussion today is metabolism. All right. First of all, metabolism is not just you utilizing calories. Metabolism is your body's sort of internal environment. It's the governing of keeping your environment perfect. Okay, so maintaining your temperature, if it's 98.6, keeping you breathing, and just continuing to make those conditions internally in your body to make sure that that happens. So it's not just energy, okay, energy usage. So we need to realize that first, that there's a lot more going on than just I burn so many calories a day, and I hate that guy that does burn more than I do. Okay, so that now that we understand what metabolism is, we can start to discuss how to break down and how to control it. Because the thing is we can choose to spend our lives sort of envying other people or wishing that we were them, or we can make a change, kind of accept where we're at, and make it work for us. Okay, so reality, as any other case, triumphs. Okay, so sometimes we look at people and go, that guy's thin, or if our goal is to be thin, guy or girl, I wish I were like them. They must have a great metabolism. But we don't realize what that person's doing. See, first of all, that person could have an issue, mental health wise, like they could have an eating problem, eating disorder. I've seen that. I've seen people over the years spend 2 hours on the elliptical or the stepper or whatever, and then end up trying to do weight training. And then on top of that, they weren't eating enough food. So if you're going to work out for that much, first of all, I don't know if your general pop why you would do that. It's not healthy. It's not effective. It's bad for your joints. It destroys your body's ability to maintain your metabolism well. It destroys your ability to burn calories at rest because you're breaking muscle mass down. And we'll get into that in a second. And it's just not good. It's not going to get you to your goals long term. You can't maintain it. All right. Something bad is going to happen. In fact, I trained a guy years ago. I got him on the tail end of this issue. He would spend 2 hours on the elliptical or the treadmill, and he needed to get it. he needed to have a nerve deadened because he created so much damage in his lower leg, and ended up training with me afterwards. And I hope he's doing well still. So let's just quickly discuss the role of muscle mass that has to do in it. Now that we know what metabolism isn't. It's not just caloric expenditure. It's not just us looking at other people. Muscle mass comes into play. Muscle mass is something that our body needs energy for. So the more we have, the more we're going to use. But it's not 50 calories per pound of muscle. I wish it were. That'd be awesome. I'd be burning like 10,000 calories a day or something at my weight. It's about 10 to 15 calories per pound. But listen, 1 pound of muscle mass, 1 pound of fat a year. All right. So the more you put on, the more we're going to have the ability to burn fat at rest, okay? You'll burn calories, all right? Because we need that energy to maintain that muscle mass. Now, here's the downside about that. The moment you stop working out, your body, well, not the moment, but after a few weeks, if you do, your body's going to start getting rid of that tissue because it doesn't want to keep it around. It's expensive to keep around as far as energy goes, and our body's goal is to try to keep us alive and conserve energy as much as possible, okay? So muscle mass is important, and we need it, okay? So weight training has a huge role in fat loss. And also we do need to do some kind of aerobic exercise, not just for caloric expenditure, because weight training does elevate our ability to burn calories over the next 24 hours because we're taking more oxygen, and as a result is we're using that a little bit more energy for that time period to heal. All right, but and aerobic training trains our heart, but it also is a voluntary metabolism. And I'll get into that in a little bit more in a minute. Okay? So, muscle mass, metabolism is not going crazy, right? All important things. Let me check what I have written down in my thoughts here. Okay, so we have muscle mass. We keep that up. Also, we need to realize that that person that we may be envying may have a lot of activity. They may be putting a lot of activity daily, and they may be moving a lot, and that's the thing. So we need to move often. It's not just strength train, kill ourselves, sit around on our butt for the next 24 hours, do it again, right? We need to leave enough in the tank that we can move constantly. So here's the thing. This is called voluntary metabolism, right? Just as much as exercise is. So the more we move without destroying ourselves, like I'm not just talking about aerobic training, going for a run or strength training. I'm talking about staying active. I'm talking about cleaning the house. I'm talking about, working in the yard. I'm talking about running around with your kids and doing all those things that are enjoyable in a sense, but also cause us to use energy every day. So the more energy we use, the more fat we're going to use, especially if we're on a restricted calorie. All right, so there's our next thing about fat loss, all right? We have to take in less calories than we use a day, all right? That's scientific. People love to argue with it. They say, no, it's food quality, it's that, it's hormones. All those things are true. I do believe that things are true. We do need quality food. We do need to keep our hormones regulated because those things can counteract what we're trying to do. But ultimately, it comes down to caloric expenditure, right? Taking in less energy than we're using a day. Then our body has no choice but to use our fat storages for energy, and the result is fat loss. So you say, well, when I lose muscle mass, if I do that, well, then again, there's your role with strength training, right? We do strength training to keep up that lean tissue and maybe even build some depending if we're a beginner or not, in order to make sure that we keep that muscle mass up and keep our basal metabolic rate, our body's ability to burn calories at rest when we're not doing anything up, which is based on our lean tissue and organs and so on. So that's where strength training comes in. Now, restricting your calories is important, right? But we also, again, we want to do the voluntary metabolism. We want to work that as much as possible, continue to move as much as possible throughout our days in order to make sure that we're losing as much fat as possible in addition to our caloric reduction. And if you do that, you're going to get to your goals, all right? And you don't have to follow the 6 meals. You don't have to do intermittent fasting. You don't have to do the zone diet. You can do any of those things and be successful. The key is that you need to stick to the rules of the program that you're doing in order to get results. That is the difference in us being successful or not. It's being able to be committed to what we're doing, the idea of the program that we're doing, and then we see results in time, okay? So I guess the main point of this is consistency. It's voluntary metabolism. It's consistency in our program. It's not comparing ourselves to others, but taking responsibility for ourselves and just working within what we have, and then we're going to be successful. All right. So there is no, that was weird. There is no other way to go about this. All right. So I hope this helps you. It's a little challenging, but ultimately it's the truth. You know, you can go from diet to diet and program to program and trainer to trainer, philosophy to philosophy, and never get anywhere. But there's a need to be committed to what we do, to caloric reduction, to moving, to eating better, and to strength training. All right, so that's your key. And this is perfect time for the new year, and I hope this really helps you, and that you apply it. If you do, there's no holding you back. There's no stopping you. All right. Happy New Year.